Hello, everyone. So, one of my subscribers was like, more Frank Tufano drama, please. So, here we go. More Frank Tufano drama.
Hello, how are you guys today? We're gonna do another full day of eating. This time, not gonna show as much prep, just give you guys an idea of
We're sped up to 1.5 again.
what I'm doing. So today's kind of messed up already because I had to wake up and film and do computer stuff for like 3 hours. I wanted to have my morning testicle testosterone routine before, but it was really cold, so I wanted to just let it sit at room temperature so it doesn't mess up my stomach at all.
What happened to the glands you were taking like a couple weeks ago?
And also, didn't have dinner last night, which is a little unusual, so I'm hungry, but
I wonder why. All that mastic gum, probably.
I'm so overdue on this testosterone routine. Haven't done it for like 2 weeks now. I really need the energy. I need the testosterone boost because I kind of wanted to have breakfast. But
Your energy wanes, buddy, because carbs.
you don't want to eat this and then have a big meal because you want this to be the only thing in your stomach, just absorbing the testosterone at a max.
And then later he takes a whole bunch of supplements, which I'm pretty sure hinder the absorption of that. And by the way, I do that if I'm gonna have plant food. I don't like to have it with meat. Excuse me. I will have maybe dairy before I have a plant product or something like that, but I won't have meat. I'll have the meat separately, and then I'll probably wait like 2 hours before I have the plant product because of my iron deficiency. I don't want anything getting in the way of absorbing that iron.
Maximum efficiency. And we did this routine a few weeks ago in my 3 morning routines video, so this might seem a little repetitive, but we just took our lamb testicle from Frankie's free range meat, we chopped it up so we don't have to chew it, we're just going to swallow it down. We have the goat testicles and the veal testicles available as well. For some reason you guys keep asking me for the beef, which we will have later this month, but me personally, I prefer the lamb and the veal over the beef. So we're just going to swallow this down while holding my nose so I don't taste it.
Just the way our ancestors did, huh? Holding the nose, yo.
So we swallowed it down, now we're going to take some mastic gum.
Yep, hindered the absorption of that stuff, probably. Pretty sure. And knocked those teeth out.
So we got our testosterone boost.
Just as our ancestors did. Round of applause. Yeah.
Without tasting it. So I'm going to take a few supplements with the testicle, and I'll explain each one. So first, vitamin C. We did a video a few months back. Is vitamin C causing your gut issues relating to H. pylori? And I think
My mom used to take vitamin C, and she still does, but I don't think she takes quite as many supplements now, because she had this period of time where for like at least every month, at least once a month, she'd end up just suddenly rush into the bathroom, puke, and I'm like, what is causing this? Why does she keep having these episodes? And I really think it's those supplements.
really need to up the vitamin C and take it with the mastic gum every morning consistently.
I don't know how he isn't puking every, at least once a month.
With that, we're going to take magnesium,
It's nonstop, by the way. It's like almost nonstop. I almost wanted to call an ambulance, but no, she decided to take ginger instead when her body was probably toxic. I'm just gonna move this.
mineral you need in the most abundance, and I'm also going to take B complex because with my impaired liver function and digestion, I think I'm falling behind a little bit on the B vitamins.
If anything, dude, you're deprived in nutrition. You're not eating liver and you're not eating meat, really, in the quantities that you were without adding a whole bunch of plant products on top. You need to cut the plants and go carnivore. If you have liver damage, carbs are the worst thing for it.
So that's 3 capsules. We're going to do that for breakfast, and then the focus for the other few meals is probably going to be
Look into how fructose is digested, by the way, broken down, for those who don't know.
different B vitamins. Since it's Thursday and I don't have anything that immediately needs to be done down at the warehouse, I'm just going to hang out for a little bit and have some breakfast because if I go down and work for a few hours, I'm going to be so hungry and just want to come home. Little something different for breakfast today. We have cream of buckwheat, which I'm probably not going to like, but we're going to try it out as a grain source. I actually wanted cream of rice, but there's actually no...
Who eats cream of rice at breakfast? Maybe Asians? I've heard of people in Asia having rice at breakfast, but who eats cream of rice? Buckwheat I can understand, although I'm not behind it. I don't agree with it. I don't recommend it.
Oh, organic cream of rice I could find in the store or online. So go figure, this is what it looks like. I mean, buckwheat isn't the best or healthiest grain, not
No grains are healthy. None whatsoever. None. Not even one.
super high fiber content, but we'll see how we like it.
Not fiber isn't healthy either.
And this is our Iberico pork tenderloin that has been marinating in apple cider vinegar, a little bit of maple syrup, and some salt. I talked about this years and years ago. I just always forget that marinating pork in vinegar makes it digest much, much easier. Don't really have to do the same thing for beef, but for some reason it makes a pretty significant difference with pork. So
pork is awful. It's hard on the digestion. Bacon is probably the only one that I can eat. The rest of it, like, I had a bad experience with sausage where they were the sausage patties, and it happened twice. And I'm just going to turn this down because I'm monitoring my voice and it's coming back and messing me up. But, see, when I was eating sausage, the patties in particular, they gave me diarrhea really bad. And I think it's because the fatty acid profile was so off that my gallbladder was just like, no, we can't work with this. Nope.
Just had this sitting in the fridge overnight. 2 or 3 days is good too. So we're gonna have some very, very easily digestible protein for breakfast. That also tastes a little better. So I'm just gonna prepare everything and we'll sit down and eat when it's ready. So it's pretty interesting how they make buckwheat. First, they get an Amish girl named Wheat, and then they find a deer.
What is this? Where did he get that?
I'm not making that joke. That's a horrible joke. But I'm a little out of it because this took so long to cool off. Like, if you have something to do not make cream of buckwheat. It's like molten lava for about 25 minutes. I tasted a little bit when it came out of the pot, and it was just like a really plain grain.
I wonder if there is something to that, like something about maybe deer and mostly the bucks looking for anything, digging with their, like, using their antlers to kind of, like, I don't know, and then they dig up anything, just anything. I don't know. Would they have that kind of power? I'll have to look behind it because I'd look into that more because I don't know how buckwheat got its name.
But the texture is nice, so I added maybe 2 tablespoons of maple syrup, a little bit of coconut oil, and there was originally salt in the water.
Yum, yum, yum,
Now it's too
carbs.
cold. I'm an idiot.
Carbs.
I let it cool off
Glad you admit you're an idiot.
for like half an hour.
Carbs.
This is really good. If you don't want as much sugar in your breakfast, if you want to control the amount of sugar, I actually like this. I like it a lot better than the homemade oats.
I used to eat porridge like a lot as a kid. Like a little kid. Blech. Carbs. Love the carbs.
Mainly because of the texture. It's a little reminiscent of glue, though.
Who wants to eat glue? Just honest question.
Slightly reminiscent of glue. So we have our pork medallions. That apple cider vinegar brine. I could probably
When he says blend there, it sounds like bun.
like 2 pounds of this pork. Really basic, guys. We got some super high quality Iberico pork for protein, cream of buckwheat for our grain and energy and starch, feed our gut bacteria.
Don't need that, and if anything, your gut bacteria are you're gonna develop SIBO. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you already have SIBO.
So we organize the supplements a little bit. Stuff I don't take every day on the.
Can you imagine having to take supplements halfway through breakfast after you just took a bunch of supplements in the morning already?
Left, and stuff I might take every day on the right.
Like, through every meal, you have to stop halfway and take a whole bunch of crap.
So for breakfast, we are having 3 of the macronutrient digestive enzymes because my liver is still not working and producing the enzymes it should.
How do you know that? Is there a video going back? Does anybody know of a video going back saying that his liver is still not functioning? If anything, dude, you're making it worse with the fructose from the carbs. Because, yeah, there's fructose in all carb sources.
We have some vitamin C. We have some magnesium. Just some brief explanations on those two. Our modern foods are kind of lacking anti-scorbutic properties because a lot of environmental stressors. That's what the vitamins.
Carnivore diets, you adjust. You won't. You eventually won't need to take those anymore.
C helps for, especially if you eat a lot of cooked food, a lot of grains, and your liver isn't optimally recycling vitamin C.
Your liver, you're only making it worse. I don't know if I can repeat it any more times than I already have, but you're making it worse, buddy. So
magnesium is almost always depleted in soil, and after doing all that research on the B vitamins, I've been taking the B complex every morning, usually 1 or 2.
Liver's filled with that, by the way.
And I've also been using the other types of B vitamins. I've actually noticed a pretty significant change in energy. I'm feeling a lot better using all the B vitamins.
No, you're feeling better because you're eating a whole bunch of dang carbs. It's an energy boost. It's a temporary energy boost. You're high.
So with that, digestive enzymes, vitamin C, magnesium, B complex. We're not going to do any minerals today. Maybe I'll do selenium or something tomorrow. But we're also going to have some masticum with it.
More masticum! Woo! Make yourselves puke!
The only one I haven't tried yet is the B12. I think I'll try like a higher dose B12 tomorrow morning and see if I notice a difference. If you guys have kids, put a little bit of maple syrup on the pork tenderloin for breakfast.
Don't do that. Don't ever. No, don't do that.
Love it.
Maybe on a small bit of it. Don't feed them that every day.
It'd be amazing. Now on the package, the buckwheat doesn't have that much fiber, so not something I would eat
You don't need fiber.
later in the day. I'm going to go to the gym, so I can burn up some of the starch. Yeah, it's weird.
The logic, man. Where does it come from? What kind of logic is this?
Weird. Like I searched cream of rice online. None of it's organic. But honestly, with the arsenic concern in rice and all that stuff, probably better off with the buckwheat. I also really got to take the vitamin K2. I've been focusing on other stuff, like B vitamin.
You get vitamin K2 from animal fat. Sorry. He says that you can't get it other than from fermented foods, but that's false. You can Google it.
But you know what? Maybe this is what I need. I'm just going to do a little bit. So do like a few drops of K2.
Drink the whole thing! Woo! Drink it all.
I haven't had it in a while, to be honest. Vitamin K2 is really hard to get in the diet.
Is he a drug addict and trying to cover it up by taking these instead? I know he's a carb addict, but is he also a drug addict and just hiding it by taking the supplements instead? He loves taking pills and stuff. That's got to be what it is.
It's only from fermented foods.
Yet he says he got liver damage from Accutane. I mean, maybe, but I feel like there's something else involved with it too.
For the gut bacteria while fermenting certain things actually produce K2, but so I'm kind of full, guys. 8, maybe 1.5 servings of buckwheat. It's not actually that calorically dense, surprisingly. And we had all the pork. Whenever I post these day of eatings now, there's a few shills in the comments, like trash talking grains. Ooh,
Yep.
grain brain.
Grain brain. It's a thing.
We debunked the glyphosate stuff a few months ago versus gluten. And in regards to natural procurement of a grain, it's similar to any food that grows, whether it's a fruit, animals eating grass. You have to put some physical effort into getting it.
I watched something with Tucker Goodrich, I think. And who was it? Was it Brian Sanders? I think it was Brian Sanders. Yeah. And he... Oh no, maybe it was... I can't remember which podcast it was. I follow 2 different podcasts, Peak Human and Fat Emperor. Tucker Goodrich has such severe gluten intolerance that when he eats even a sandwich, he has migraines so bad they land him in the hospital. Make of that what you will, people.
But humans are meant to be mildly active all day. You can't do sprints for 10 hours straight. And if you just walk at a slow pace for 10 hours straight, you could have probably done a little more. So there's an in-between, a human in the field, farming, doing agriculture in a natural way. That's very, very real.
You know what those farmers had, like, even 10, 15,000 years ago? You know what they also had, Frankie? They had something called tooth decay and rampant tooth decay. Lots of abscesses. Oh, but they weren't brushing their teeth. They didn't have... Nope. Didn't matter. Because the hunter-gatherers never had tooth decay. They had, like, maybe one person out of, like, I don't even know how many. Like, the average would only get one small cavity or something like that. I don't really remember how it all went, but yeah, hunter-gatherers had pretty much no tooth decay whatsoever. So brushing teeth is obviously not...
realistic and accessible, and especially grains, the way they grow and the caloric availability, it's not something that's considered unnatural in any capacity. But there are different types of grains and starches depending on where you're located in the world. See you guys for lunch. So I was actually so hungry when I got home for lunch that I've just been kind of nibbling on some homemade sourdough.
Oh, I wonder why you were that hungry, buddy. I wonder. Couldn't possibly be that insulin going up, and yeah, maybe you had some diarrhea, just never really mentioned it, just thought nothing of it. Maybe you thought, oh, I just drank too much water or some.
Sourdough bread, and I had a few sips of water kefir
Carbs!
while I heat my soup up. Yeah, honestly, couldn't find any decent bread. You know, even the bakery in the city I used to go to kind of went down a little bit in quality, so I made my own sourdough yesterday. Had a few slices of it, and have been having some now while the stew heats up with some very carbonated lemon water kefir. Very, very, very tasty. If you guys want me to sell a sourdough starter on Frankie's Strange Foods, let me know. With the starter, you know, you're just a little bit of work and about a day away from bread. But if you don't have the starter...
How do you only get bread out of that in a day? Kombucha takes 5 to fully, prep.
It can take like a week or two to have.
And if you're starting with a SCOBY, it has to be fed every 2 weeks. And then, so once you actually make a batch of actual kombucha, like the drink, you have to wait 5 days first before you can put it in the fridge and then drink it, you know?
A viable one. So I'll probably put that on the foods website and see if there's any interest in it. The difference this time with the stew is that I added some more barley and some coconut cream. So a lot more carbs as well as a little bit of cream in the stew, which makes it a lot more enjoyable.
Carbs!
We used actually some of the fresh beef share chopped up in this instead of the tenderloin stew meat this time around. So this week, as I said, we had the fresh beef, some of it chopped up in here, organic shiitake mushrooms, organic white onion, organic russet potatoes. I put about half a bottle of organic white Riesling wine in here.
Carbs! Carbs! Glorious carbs!
Maybe 2 jars of the collagen broth from Frankie's Strange Meat, a bit of salt, and a bit of coconut cream. And of course, a few cups of barley.
No animal fat whatsoever. How much animal fat does he eat in total? Probably only about 10% of his entire day. Any of his meals. It's probably 10% in total of animal fat. Broth isn't enough. You need fat in every meal. Animal fat.
So that's the stew in the Instant Pot. This one tastes a lot better, maybe because of the extra barley and the coconut cream. Also use a different type of barley. And this bread I made, guys, a little dense. I think the oven has to be hotter, but very, very, very delicious. Very delicious. Way better than the bread alone stuff. Way better than the baker I went to in the city.
Carbs. Listen to that munching.
Now the stew in itself is really nutritionally complete. You know, you could just eat this. Since I have the
No. With the grain in there, it depletes everything.
liver damage, I try to have a little more carbohydrates to just soak up
Liver damage is only going to get worse eating carbs. How many more times do I have to say it?
the bile and feed the gut
No. Fat produces bile.
bacteria as well as the apples for just a little bit of dessert and enjoyment. But if I was just going to have this stew on its own, which I have several times, that's perfectly fine too. This is really, really rich and creamy. I didn't add too much coconut cream, but you know, the starch from the barley mixed with that coconut cream is really, really nice texturally. So there's not a lot of liquid to dip the bread into. I doubled the amount of barley, but I think I got to reduce it a little bit. If we had someone to make us potato chips, I'd probably be...
We're going into chips now, guys. Carbs.
having a roast beef sandwich right now with some chips, but I don't. I've always wanted to have my own bakery, but got to tackle the meat business first.
Why was he nearly shut down? Does anybody know? Is it because of what he feeds his animals? What happened there?
It's just there's nowhere to get like high quality organic bread, really. You have to make it yourself. So maybe if you guys keep buying meat from me, in a few years we'll have a Frankie's free range bakery. But we're about halfway through the meal now, so let's take some supplements. Macronutrient digestive enzymes.
More supplements! Drug addiction! Woo!
Very, very important.
Masked drug addiction. That's what this is, y'all.
Honestly, I didn't think I needed these and I stopped using them for like a few months, but since I started
Placebo.
taking them about 2 weeks ago now, I've been feeling so much better. We're gonna have 5 of these, you know, with the amylase to break down the carbs.
Your mouth produces amylase. You idiot. Everybody knows that.
Pepsin, trypsin, betaine, HCl for the protein.
Your body should make all this. What?
And chymotrypsin for the protein, and then we have the lipase for the fat. So with the 5 macronutrient digestive enzymes, I took some B3 yesterday, I took some...
He did fine on carnivore for 9 years, pretty much. He said 7, but then he said 2012, so I'm not sure. So, Okay, I'll say 7. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt and say 7. So 7 years carnivore, he did fine then. Why now is his enzyme production not doing good? Like, what? He just wasn't eating fat and gave himself rabbit starvation, which, for those who don't know, maybe don't know English well enough or don't remember, rabbit starvation was named because in the north, the Inuit were often starved of the fatty meats that they were used to in the harsher seasons, so they would often resort to eating hares and rabbits and smaller things like that. And as a result, because of the little amount of fat that those animals had, they lost all their energy source. So, yeah.
B2 the day before. I think we're going to try a different one today. So we got B5, B6, and B7. I think I'll try the B7 today, and then we'll try the other two another day this week. Okay, so we'll have these.
Pills, carbs, pills,
and then I'll have
carbs.
Maybe almost a teaspoon of masticum.
More freaking masticum. What is this stuff? Gut bloater. Possibly. Gut destroyer. Gut destroyer bloater something.
One time I tried to make these mastic gum cookies. Horrible. Even with like a small amount of masticum in them, they just tasted completely like masticum. So for the most part, supplement-wise, the base per meal is the digestive enzymes and the masticum. For lunch, I'll usually take B vitamin, but for breakfast is when I take most of the extra stuff. So if I'm going to take minerals like selenium or manganese or boron, molybdenum, any sort of minerals or higher amounts of vitamins like a B complex, I only take those in the morning. Then for lunch and dinner, just to kind of ensure I sleep as optimally as possible, I don't want my
Yeah, probably 9, 10, 12, 15 hours. Yeah, optimally. Cool.
liver stressing, processing so many B vitamins. So
Your liver's working way overtime now, buddy.
the magnesium, the vitamin C, all that stuff, always in the morning.
Ah.
I don't know when I'm going to make the sourdough recipe
I think I went out of something, but oh well. I'll keep reacting to the video.
but we should have a sourdough starter for sale this week. So the recipe I used was, I think it was on King Arthur flour, pan di campagna, but I used all white flour for it. Yeah, I'm hoping things move a little quicker because I've really been missing dairy in my diet, as well as the eggs, and we don't have the hypoallergenic eggs on the website anymore. And
What the heck is hypoallergenic eggs? Just the white? Because he doesn't eat fat. White is typically what people react to.
we've never had hypoallergenic dairy, so whenever I get my own farm and I can do my special feed for the animals.
Yeah, try and get yourself shut down again probably too, huh?
I'll be having bread and butter for breakfast every morning.
Really devoted to those carbs, huh?
A lot of creative ideas, guys. I haven't been able to do them yet. Yeah, so like I don't even have to dip this bread into the soup. It's just really tasty on its own. Now, when I drink water kefir, I don't need or crave as much protein.
No, you need protein. You need fat and you need protein. Don't have any of those things, you will die. Not just get sick, not just maybe somewhat skim by and live a long life despite it. No, you will die. It'll be painful. Maybe you will live long, but you won't be happy and healthy by any means.
Because there's plenty of B vitamins in this, and the probiotic bacteria in the water kefir will turn the carbs in this meal into
And you'll become sarcopenic.
B vitamins, which is one of the main things we need for protein. I think that's everything to show you guys for lunch.
And osteopenic.
I'm just going to kind of relax, finish eating everything nice and slow, drink most of the water kefir, and have my organic Honeycrisp apple. So if you guys have any questions, just let me know down in the comments. But we will see you for dinner. So, boys and girls, it's pretty late time for dinner. I'm having the same dinner that I've been having for the past few months now. I've really been enjoying this. We have organic udon noodles, basically the only type of pasta I can eat that's okay for my liver.
You mean your gut?
For the protein source, we have grass-fed roast beef, courtesy of Frankie's free-range meat. I'm going to do a tablespoon of the collagen broth in there, and then I have a homemade white bean and artichoke puree.
I just remembered something too. A while ago, he put up a video. I knew it was him because somebody reacted to it. It was about lead. I'm pretty sure he's eating off of lead with lead silverware, lead plates, lead, that can really make you sick. Really.
Just organic butter beans, some organic canned artichoke, and then I put a little bit of coconut cream in here and a little bit of salt. Sometimes garlic and onion, but this one's pretty plain. We got our glass bottled mineral water boiling away, ready to go. So we're just going to put a bit of salt in here, some oil so it doesn't stick. So the noodles only take 4 minutes, which gives me just enough time to get everything else ready, as well as peel my apple. I guess about 2 tablespoons of the collagen broth, 3 tablespoons of our puree. This also has some collagen broth in it. That's what gives it kind of the nice structure. So we're gonna take about half of the roast beef, nice and rare in the middle. I'm gonna roll this up. And I'm kind of picky, so sometimes I'll actually just like cut the ends off. And then I'll have...
I don't want to pause this.
Just the inside. Because even when you cook it rare, like...
Oops. I don't want to pause this. I'm just going to be 2 seconds. I want to just... turn my heat off. So, has anybody caught on yet? He's carb crazy. Pill crazy. Drug crazy. Just, this is insane. Insane.
And I'm kind of picky, so... Sometimes I'll actually just like cut the ends off, and then I'll have, just the inside.
A little bit of burnt meat.
Rare,
a little bit of burnt meat's not gonna hurt you guys.
Like sometimes the ends are still a little overdone, but after I roll it up, I just dice it up. So I just kind of sprinkle this roast beef on the noodles after I put them in the bowl, and this we're gonna save for tomorrow. I'm so tired, guys. I just did everything off camera, but I just add a little bit of coconut oil and salt.
Tired already, huh? Carb addiction, really. Proven to be effective in this case, huh?
In addition to that collagen broth and bean puree, then we have the roast beef nicely on top. And I'll just peel my apple while this cools off for a minute because it's really hot. I gotta get rid of these gray sweats, guys. I do not look presentable, to say the least. It's plain, It's plain. I gotta add some onions and garlic to that bean puree. Just a little worth to caramelize them.
How is he not how does he not have diarrhea every moment of every day?
Come on, guys. Who else is eating a giant bowl of noodles every night?
Not me. I'm a happy, healthy carnivore.
Still has a full head of hair and is chiseled out of steel. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. All right, guys, about halfway through the meal, we are going to take our supplements. So I'm going to do 1 vitamin B1. We're going to do...
pills and carbs, pills and carbs, pills and carbs all day.
5 of the macronutrient digestive enzymes, mainly because it's a lot of noodles.
Yeah.
And our 1 teaspoon of masticum.
That poor pancreas.
I'm probably not going to show you guys, but maybe like in an hour from now, right before I go to bed, I'll just take a little more masticum on its own.
Ugh. Gross.
I would probably feel a lot better and look a lot better if I started tanning again. I haven't been a fan of the tanning beds because of the magnetic field. Sometimes you get a headache, but the benefits probably still outweigh the negatives. And since it's winter in New York, I can't really go outside and tan. Plus, if I'm not going to get an Asian baddie by now, it's not going to happen. You know how the Asian girls like really white skinned guys. I guess I'm half a foot too short for that. And
okay, now he's just rambling on a whole bunch of insanity. This is cringe beyond cringe. I
not ugly enough either, but anyway, maybe after I tan, I'll just have to go for the Latina girls that look like Asians. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like the Latina people that have kind of like Asian eyes.
Why does he do this every video?
Like a whitewashed Latina baddie, Honestly, bro, if I...
Tell me you have grain brain without telling me you have grain brain.
If I was half a foot taller, or if I wasn't working so much and I could clone myself, I'd probably be in Chinatown right now trying to get some fresh off the boat baddie, 100%. That's the way to go, 100%. Some Chinese farm girl to salivate over. Now that I've inhaled 2 pounds of noodles, I definitely feel better.
No crap, because you're eating carbs.
Who wouldn't? Honestly, it's just a huge amount of starch and some fiber. So the idea here is that you have a small amount of protein, the roast beef, for the B vitamins, the nutrients, the animal-based proteins that we need for all the metabolic processes. The tiny amount of fat, the coconut cream in the bean puree and the coconut oil that I added, that's just enough to stimulate the liver to kind of send out some bile.
That's not enough at all. I eat very if I eat very low lean meat, my brain goes berserk. I wake up with brain zaps. I don't know what.
And then all of the noodles, the starch made from white flour, and the soluble fiber in the bean puree, that's going to kind of soak up and absorb those toxins from the liver. And all that starch is also going to kind of like feed the gut bacteria and keep everything happy, and also give me too many calories so I can be a thick boy. And I might have said this just last week, but you know, when you gain weight, when you put on fat, your body stores toxins in the fat. So it's actually...
No. Not. Sorry, I went too close. Not true.
a lot less stress on the liver.
More stress on the liver.
If you can kind of maintain a higher weight.
Sorry, guys.
Oh yeah, no, I did say it last week. Then I made the joke about giving myself a fat weight. I'm like a geese being force-fed to make foie gras. All right, guys, that's it. Let me wrap this up
Your liver's probably becoming frogwa now.
before any
Or about to be.
more nonsense comes out of my mouth today. So I do have the sourdough starter. I might list it on the foods website. Also, I might do mastic powder. So right now we sell the mastic
Blech.
gum. You have to grind it up yourself. I think we might try selling the powder in jars and see if you guys like that a little more convenient. You guys can go to frank-tufano.com to check out all of my businesses, including Frankie's Free Range Meat, where you will see all of these delicious animal products, and Frankie's Free Range Foods for all the non-perishable stuff. We got organ supplements. This is ridiculous, guys. Look, it's ridiculous, but you know, I went to God knows how many doctors and how many people until I figured it out myself. And
I don't think he went to that many doctors.
this helps me along the way. Wi-Fi shielding, always wearing the
And mainstream doctors aren't going to tell you the proper way to do things.
protective clothing. And of course, Frankie's Naturals. I use the cosmetic products on a several weekly basis when I decide to shower. But as always, if you guys could please drop a like on the video, leave a comment down below, subscribe so that YouTube can unsubscribe you next week.
I love that.
And be sure to check that notification bell so they don't notify you of my videos. My brain is so fried, I can't remember if I said thanks already, but either way, thanks or thanks again for joining, guys. We'll see you for the next video.
Well, that's it. That's it. Bleep. So, that's it for that. I will also thank you, Frank Tufano, for giving me that little outro. If you don't mind, I would like to use it. So, please, for those new to my channel, subscribe so that YouTube unsubscribes you next week. And click that bell so that you don't get notified of my videos. And I will see you later. Bye!